What's happening? Drew Gordon's asking, what was that intro from? Well, it was from the film Human Traffic, which I'm going to be doing a special on very soon. And actually, I was at a daytime rave on Saturday where I danced for 5 hours straight, man, on the podium. So I thought it was appropriate to put it on. I'm just going to give a shout out to a couple of people as a result of going to that event. There's a couple of things I want to plug for those people before I bring my usual people in. So I went to that event because it was organized by a group called Solo Ravers, which is basically a conglomerate of clubbing people from my generation who get together and go to clubbing events all around the UK. Going to give them a bit of a plug here. And I'll put their link in the chat. But this is Solo Ravers. It's a group run by Samantha Bliss, ably assisted by her good friends, of which there are many who assist her with this. But she's a driving force behind it. My friend Kenny's been a member for quite a while. I go to their events. I'm going to be getting them on the channel soon. We're going to be talking about them. I got a lot to say about episode 10 of Shogun, mate. We'll get into that. Don't you worry. Old school ravers, absolutely wicked. The actual event that we went to was run by another group of people called Rave Days. And the lineup for the music that they had was pretty impressive, it has to be said. Rave Days is run by John and I think is it Len Reed? They're both on my friends list now, and I'm also going to get them on the channel. John Reed and Lee Reed. Sorry, John and Lee Reed. And they run particular events with that kind of music. So all working in conjunction with each other. It's all very good. I'm going to see you at the next one. Danny Dyer may have been there. I can't confirm. Let me bring in my usual panel of retrobates. Blue Collar Losers in the house.
Retrobates.
Exactly. I'm told now that I should insult my guests at all times, according to the chat comments on Open Bar.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing, sir? How's your week?
Hungover.
I was completely sober the whole event on Saturday.
Yeah, Enzo's
have a drop of alcohol, nothing else.
Oh, it was Enzo's midnight madness till 5 o'clock in the morning.
I had a few Red Bulls that caused me to rush for the loo, but that was about it. We have Northern in the house.
Evening and morning to all you, and afternoon to you Yankees.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just been watching a lot of programs, just trying to catch up, watching House of Dragon. But I'll get more into that, actually. I'll actually get more into that later.
I'm glad you started watching House of Dragon, because it's a good show, man. It's a good show, and I'm looking forward to the second season. I really am.
Yeah.
And my friend Wil Johnson is in that. There's a great interview with him on the channel. He's got a spectacular ending in the final episode. I don't want to give anything away. Last but by no means least, my regular co-host on my Tuesday nights, the man who is licious and stupendous all at once, Stupendolicious. Here he is. How are you, sir?
He's there.
You're muted. You currently look like you're in a submarine as well, but you're muted.
I watched Blue Collar polish off a bottle of gin last night.
God.
That was pretty rowdy. If I had gone to a daytime rave, I would have definitely like hippie flipped. I would have fucking taken mushrooms and ecstasy at the same time. I would have been.
Mate, I'm a bit old.
Dancing
I'm a bit old for all that. But
I'm the kind of guy that like takes a copious amount of LSD and just kind of stands around, just like doesn't dance or anything, just kind of looks at people.
That's you. Okay.
Yeah,
well, I was doing more of this, you know. But it was a lot of fun. It was good. And,
doing the monkey.
Good hoot. So big shout out to the.
Were other people all fucked up, or was everyone all sober?
I don't want to comment on other people's behavior. All I'm going to say is that I was.
It got rowdy. That's what I'm saying. It got rowdy. Okay.
No,
cool.
It didn't get rowdy. It was all you know, no fights, nothing like that. It was a proper good night with people that just wanted to dance.
Did you see anybody like sweating and grinding their teeth all hardcore? That's always my favorite.
I can't possibly comment on the behavior of others. All I'm going to say is it was a good time and everybody had a good time.
I love it here. They're all covered in sweat. Ew.
Canoli would pay money to see me rave. Well, if you can pay
No.
£1,350, I will
That's
do the longest rave
I'm just
video.
gonna book my DJ act over in England, where I'm called Man Boob.
no,
That's my
that
DJ
should be
name.
your fundraiser, Lance. You know how much you can rave to get the fun built up.
DJ Man Boob. I like it. I like it.
Here, I'll put it in the chat so you can look me up.
Drew, I'm not sure I know which shot that is. On a when he's on the downer. Yeah. I do know which bit you mean.
I don't have any
great
music
film.
or anything yet, but that is my DJ name.
Your DJ name is what?
Man Boob.
It's-
Man. Okay.
There you go.
DJ
Well,
Moves.
With
How
that
about that?
crucial piece of information revealed, let's get on with the show.
All right,
So
no,
we've
that's
got-
what I'm saying. I'm going to meet Lance by booking a gig in England. I'm going to lie about the gigs I've done and get a fake gig in England just so I can get Lance up there to rave.
All right, man. Sounds good. That is a plan. So we were going to have Inside Man on tonight as well, but he's just sent me a message saying he can't make it. I mean, I just think you should come on anyway. But he hasn't been able to watch any of the things we're featuring. That's never stopped any of my panelists from coming on before.
been a busy week, man.
Yeah. So, well, lots has been happening. Poor Alec Baldwin's been in the news again.
Again,
Denounce Israel, Alec.
Yeah, some woman was trolling him in a coffee shop. Enzo,
I
can
don't
you
think
find
she was
the vid?
trolling him. I think she was being 100% serious.
Yeah, well, she was basically just trying to get him to make a political statement while he was buying a cup of coffee. Can you get the video for that, mate?
I'm sure Enzo can.
That'd be great.
He's magic.
I'm listening to Dreamcore music right now. I'd have to mute it. Hang on. Alec Baldwin.
Anyway, I'll continue while you search for that clip. So, great news. We've had a couple more guests confirm, and I need to start off the show by just making a change of scheduling announcement. So I was going to be interviewing actor Damon Herriman on Friday at 9 o'clock UK time. Would have been 4 o'clock East Coast. However, Damon, who is currently filming with my favorite #1 American actor that I want to work with at the top of my list, I've mentioned this many times, which is who? Pop quiz, starter for 10. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone in chat know who that is? Anyone? I've said it loads of times on loads of streams.
Yeah.
Well, Damon Herriman is currently working with that particular actor that I really want to work with, and who's at the top of my American actors that I'd like to work with on a project in Atlanta. It's a TV show.
Not so nice.
And his filming has been moved. So he's got a film on Friday, but he's off on Saturday. So he's going to be coming on Saturday at 9 o'clock. So it's going to be Saturday at 9 o'clock, Damon Herriman interview. So it's changed from Friday, basically. Okay. Otherwise, it's all good. Does anyone else remember which actor that I talked about? Remember the one that sent me a message in lockdown?
Hang on.
Awesome opening. Cool to see Lance clubbing back in the day.
Jason Flemyng?
I'm not sure that was me. Dan Candy's in the house. The big hairy Sasquatch is in the house. Did an interview on his channel with him and Sassy last Friday. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me on. Desert Phoenix is here. Good to see Drew Gordon here. We've got Ollie Hollingdale in his house of many castles. Jammer Lammer is here. So before we get on to the TV shows,
Who's your favorite actor in America? We don't know. Who is it?
Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
I have said it so many times, man.
Yeah.
now I won't forget because you've specifically stated it and shamed us for not knowing.
Yeah. You remember when
I expect you assholes to know my favorite movies and shit.
Vandad Menace is here in between Mr. In Between Isles, and we've done a stream about Mr. In Between season 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the other seasons as well. So let me know if you fancy being on one of those, Vandad Menace. I told you the story. Remember that it was in lockdown, going through some heavy shit, really heavy shit. Won't get into what it was now. And I got on my computer, and I don't normally do like lots of personal tweets on my computer. It's usually to do with work or promoting something or whatever. But I just put, "This is a really bad day. I don't know how I'm going to get through this." And within about a minute of that post, Kevin Bacon posted underneath, "Hang in there, Lance. It'll get better. Don't worry." And he doesn't even follow me on Twitter. It was definitely him. It's his official account. So I don't even know how he saw my post. But I had been on the phone to Jason Flemyng for about half an hour before I did that post. And Flemyng knows he's my favorite American actor. So it might be that Flemyng had a word with him and said, "Could you drop a tweet on this guy's timeline because he's feeling really down?" So I don't know if that was Flemyng behind that, or if Bacon just happened to be surfing the web. This was on the back of the second lockdown, so a lot of us were at home not doing
lockdown. I'm in Texas. We barely had a first lockdown.
Well,
what's your favorite?
You just
favorite Kevin Bacon movie besides Tremors? All of us go.
Footloose.
Yeah. I like Hollow Man.
I was gonna say Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's good
because he's really dark in that movie. He's one hell of a
man. I like him in
Hollow Man.
I like him in
the
the title was changed over here, but the prison film.
Yeah, it was pretty good in Sleepers as well.
Sleepers is amazing. Yeah.
What's the one where he's in prison and you've got the young lawyer defending him? I think it's Christian Slater.
Oh yeah. Murder in the First.
Murder in the First. That's really good.
And that's also really good. And also, he's also a great bad guy in Super and X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
Also,
Stir of Echoes is definitely one of his best performances.
Yeah, I agree.
He is not in
a long
Platoon.
time.
Oh, remember Things
Kevin Bacon is not
in the early 2000s. Kevin Bacon kept wanting to show his penis off. He showed it in Hollow Man. He showed it in Wild Things. I don't know why.
Wants everyone to see it.
I don't have.
If you ever work with him, Lance, you'll get him to show his dick.
I don't have vivid memories of the Bacon peni, but these are not the things from his film that stuck in my memory.
Promise me.
What's the outtakes of Superbad?
Promise me right now, if you ever get Kevin Bacon to make a movie with you, you will make him get fully frontal nude.
I'm not going to commit to that promise.
What's the Superbad outtakes? Jonah Hill keeps. There's like lines that might use about Jonah Hill going on about Kevin Bacon's dick.
Anyway,
this
is Alec Baldwin getting harassed today.
All right, let's do it.
Should we play it and then we'll talk about it?
Can you please say Free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady, got no jail time? No jail time, Alec? No jail time, Alec. You're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time. I'll leave you alone. I swear. Just say Free Palestine one time. One time. One time. One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a criminal. Come on, Alec. Just say Free Palestine one time. One time. Just one time. Please. And I'll leave you alone. Free Palestine. Israel. Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Oh.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to admit, he had more patience than I probably would have done.
Yeah. I mean, there's before you just like be Mr. Quiet Guy and strike him, you can try yelling. You know, you'd be surprised how fast a woman, especially a woman, would back down if you just like got up in their face. Like, you know, like, hey, fucking dude, they will back down usually. Get away from me. You know, yell that as loud as you can. Don't fucking say another word to me, please. But yeah, that woman, the thing that's so funny is like, Alec Baldwin and some of these other very politically active artists, they're partly responsible for creating that stupid woman, you know? So you get what you pay for. You get what you reap what you sow, man. These are your fans. You brainwashed them to the point where now they're harassing you on the street. Are you happy?
Yeah,
this is what happens when you radicalize everybody and make everyone all divisive. See what happens?
Yeah, it's dangerous. If you say remember what you say. If I'm pro Palestine or pro Israel, you're gonna get it either way. That's why like a lot of people just don't say anything.
What's funny? Oh, Megan was talking about this at the music fest. How it's like it's funny because like it doesn't matter if you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, either stance is anti-Semitic somehow. I don't know how that works, but it doesn't matter.
Well, they're just executing a bunch of innocent civilians as well, in the name of because
I mean, we don't need to talk about
Hamas.
the skirmish, but the whole point is Alec Baldwin, getting harassed by some political activist is just,
Yeah.
But she has a responsibility as well. That's the thing. She has a responsibility not to be a fucking arsehole like that in a social life too. So you
can tell just from her voice and her tactics that she's probably early 20s, young lady.
Yeah.
These younger folks, they think they can just get it. They've never been slapped around. They've never been told physically to stop doing what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. But
they've never been disciplined.
She's doing it to get more clicks on their fucking social.
Exactly.
Social media accounts.
Now
they've also only gotten in fights on the internet, so like no one's ever popped them in the mouth before.
All right, well, let's move on. I'm just going to address the question that was asked of me earlier about favorite Kevin Bacon.
Why'd you make me bring this up if you weren't going to bring anything up?
No. I just wanted to comment on it quickly. We don't need to do a 40-minute debate on it.
We covered all the bases. All right.
It doesn't mean I like Alec Baldwin though, but I do feel a bit bad for him there. And she's just as terrible, to be honest.
No, right.
To be honest, I think that a person should be able to go and get a cup of coffee without getting harassed at the minute.
Yeah, remember when Maxine Waters told everybody, "Hey, if you see these people out at restaurants, you get up in their face." Well, this is what's happening now.
Not appropriate behavior. I'm gonna say.
What happens if we ever see Maxine Waters? You bet your ass we're gonna start yelling at her. I mean, she told us to do that.
The inside man is here.
Hey,
made it.
Hello. How you doing?
Good to see you, inside man. How are you, sir?
We're good.
Oh, very well, thanks. Yeah. We had a nice little chat earlier on this week, didn't we? And
we did. I'm looking forward to our Band of Brothers stream on Sunday.
Can't wait, mate.
Oh, that's
really
Sunday?
Can't wait.
Okay.
Really looking forward to it.
As your thumbnail.
Yeah. It's this Sunday. I need all 10 of those, Enzo. I need 11.
Wouldn't you just use like one thumbnail for all of them, like you did last time, or no? You want?
Well, I can do.
Ones?
I can do.
Yeah. We'll do that.
But they need to have episode 1 through 10 written.
I can do that. That's easy.
Okay, cool.
Did you did all of the scripts come through? You got the first.
Yeah, mate. I've
scripts.
got the scripts. Actually, I haven't tried downloading them yet, but let me do that in a sec. But it's just much more important for me to talk about Kevin Bacon quickly. So I just want to mention some other great Baconness. Dan Candy mentioned a really great film that almost no one's seen that we definitely have to do a watch party of, which is called The Big Picture. It is a great film. It's about him being a young aspiring film director in LA and sort of cutting through all the bullshit. It is so funny. Really, really good little movie that a lot of people won't have seen.
You know, it's another funny one. She's having a baby.
Yeah, that's less funny. He's also did Death Sentence, which is a remake of Death Wish. If you want to see Kevin go mad and kill people, The Woodsman is probably his heaviest film. Also an amazing performance. Mystic River, definitely one of his strongest performances. Also a pretty difficult film. But, I mean, he's done such an amazing
Apollo
range
13.
of work.
I like him when he's also like, not lead, when he's great in Apollo 13. Tom Hanks said that Kevin Bacon is the best smelling actor he's ever worked with.
Well, that's good because they were in a fairly confined space when they made that movie. I also really liked him in Patriots Day, which is a film I happen to think is really good about the Boston Marathon bombings. He plays, I think, the FBI agent that takes over the case. Anyway, let us move on. So there's been a couple of things that we've all seen this week, and there's been some stuff that probably some of us have seen and some of us haven't. But I think we've all seen Late Night with the Devil. Isn't that right?
Dave Desmolchin.
Have we? Yeah, David Desmolchin. Is that how we say that? Desmolchin. I should have asked him when I met him, really, shouldn't I?
That's what I've always heard.
David, how do you say your surname?
I've always heard that in interviews that people said that. That's why I was assumed it.
Das Mausian. Is that it? Das Mausian. So Late Night with the Devil is kind of like a found footage movie.
Yeah.
It's an independent film, horror film.
I think it comes out this week on Shudder. Let me check.
It's basically all set in a television studio, and it's about a TV show that's kind of chasing the ratings of Johnny Carson, and they have various guests that come on, and David Dastmalchian's character is playing the host. They invite a girl on who is purported to be possessed, either by the devil or by evil spirits or something. And basically, shit happens. Most of it not good. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start. And I watched this. Like, I was really focused on this film. 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, I'm going to really concentrate. There's a lot of shit happening here. And I could just tell it was going to be really, really good. And it just got better and better and better. And even though there were some bits that were kind of a bit cheese, and I thought, yeah, I've seen that bit in that horror film, it didn't really bother me because everything leading up to that point totally justified or gave a good groundwork for what followed. So, yeah, I won't give you my rating yet, but I really liked it. I strongly urge people to see it. If you can see it at the cinema, so much the better. Blue, did you see it on the big screen?
Yeah, no matter. I talked to you about this before because it was actually recommended to me by Gord King.
Yeah, but that was last week, Blue, and we've established on Open Bar that I don't remember things beyond about 30 seconds. So you'll just have to remind me about this stuff.
Yeah, no, it was recommended by Gord King. I checked it out, and then while watching guys like Jeremy Johns, and yeah, it's actually available now, still in theaters, but also on Shudder. And yeah, it was a great film in terms of presentation, especially seeing it in the theaters with the whole 4:3 aspect ratio. They really captured the vibe of like I felt like I was watching in 2024 a film from the 1970s.
Yeah.
The film grain aspect ratio, the way they talk, their mannerisms, and you can tell as an actor, he must have grew up like watching legends like Johnny Carson, and it's got that vibe. That's what I liked about it so much. It felt so authentic.
Yeah, I really liked it, and they shot like a lot of extra footage for it. You had like a compilation of guests that had been on the show before, and I loved all of that. Northern, have you seen it?
No, I forgot to bloody put on. I was catching up with so much other stuff that was recommended to me. I think a week ago, and that one just slipped my mind. And I'm going to really try and watch that on maybe very soon.
Stupenzo.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. I liked it. Wasn't scary at all. It was kind of campy and hokey and fun, and it felt like a kind of, like I said before, it felt like a really fleshed out, longer episode of like Black Mirror or something. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Had this great. Me and Mother watched it. We were both like laughing like through most of the movie. So just to kind of give you an idea of the kind of people we are. Like, I don't know. It was fun. We liked it, but it was like, oh, this is silly. But I loved it, and the acting was I thought the acting was a little like over the top, but in a good way. It had a very like made for TV quality about it, which was very and horror. That's why I love horror movies, because they're one of the few genres where it's like there's so many cheap horror movies, and sometimes they're little gems. You can tell little nuggets of artistry. And this one was wild. I don't remember this scene though. This was a short? This was like in a montage or something, right?
Yeah, this was a montage.
Yeah, I remember.
It's rumored the inside man is in this clip. Can you verify?
Yeah, definitely.
How much research did you do to play that table?
None. It's just natural.
I thought so.
Yeah. Natural.
Yeah, this
natural talent.
This is like a 2-second clip in the movie, but I liked it. I mean, I really love this actor. I'll watch anything he's in. For me, he's the best character actor of his generation, and I just think he's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger roles.
Hard to debate that. He has a very interesting filmography. This guy's been
and
it took him a long time. Like even when I used to listen to Kevin Smith, he was mentioning he actually had an interview with David, and he's like, he was the first guy to be in Marvel and DC and in different superhero genres, the MCU and DCU. And at that point, he still was building himself up. And I don't know, the past like three or 4 years, he's just really been bumping up now.
Yeah, he had a really eventful life when he was younger. At one point, him and his I don't know if it was his then partner or but they were living in like a car. You know, all of that. So to read that and see where he's at now, I think is brilliant. And then he I think his directing debut, certainly he wrote the script. I believe he directed it as well. I need to check, but he did an independent feature film basically about two heroin addicts trying to survive in Los Angeles, and not an easy watch, but it's loosely based on kind of what he'd been through. So when you think, damn, this, you know, he went through that and now he's doing this. Take my hat off to him.
Yeah,
literally. You know, because that's an incredible story. That's an incredible story of triumph over adversity. You know,
definitely.
I think it's great. Definitely recommend this movie.
Yeah, it's streaming. I'm probably gonna watch again. Probably watch it with my mother because she likes that whole vibe. And almost like to what Enzo was saying though, it's like I think part of the campiness and sometimes the over the top that's matching the tone of that era. And the way that it's like the way the characters are acting. I feel like if this was an actual broadcast, if you're watching like a Johnny Carson, you know, event live and this stuff starts really happening, this is how people would react living in the 70s.
This guy Christou was like Inside Man. I don't know if you remember the very first season of Alan Partridge.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
you know, it was like the 6 30-minuters, and he had that same troupe of actors playing all of his guests in all the different episodes.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
he had this magician come on called Tony LeMesmer, and Tony LeMesmer comes out and he's got this wacky haircut, and he's sort of like there's like a cage and he's doing this funky dance, and there's this really cheesy voiceover track, the dance of Diabolos, and I might have to try and find that clip actually, see if we can pull it up. But it really reminded me of that. When Alan Partridge starts interviewing him, he's going, so how does that all work then, Tony? And he says, oh well, it's all you know, it's all powers of the mind. And he says, right, so it's not like a mirror with a bit of rope or something. trying to get him to fess up. Yeah, it was good film. Ratings out of 10, guys. What would you give it?
7.
7 from Enzo.
Dude, Alan Partridge, by the way, his autobiography is so amazingly hilarious.
He's written more than one. Yeah.
Which one?
The one that's I Partridge. I Partridge was hilarious.
He's the latest one, which is called a big beacon. I don't know whether you've read that one.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I heard of it.
Where he buys a lighthouse to renovate a lighthouse.
Shit.
Yeah, and he's such an idiot. You wonder how the hell he even got a job as a presenter. But man, he's such a good character, though.
Yeah, I mean from the Oast House podcast are absolutely brilliant. He's got there are 3 Audible original podcast series that he's done now, and they're really, really good.
Yeah, it's the one where they have the lesbians on and he's like reading every single like lesbian slur and just like, did you just make this list up? I was like, well, people in the back helped as well. It's
no, not all of them.
Dude, I do like that Steve Coogan's going to be in the new Joker movie.
He should have been the Joker himself. I think he could have played the role of the Joker.
Isn't he in the trailer? He's in the trailer for the new Joker film.
Yeah.
His stand-up is brilliant, as well as Paul Calf as well, and his sister Pauline Calf.
I've seen him live stand up twice.
Yes, I see him live actually.
Yeah.
And he always pre-records
a check for a bag of chips. What is this student?
Bag of shite.
Yeah, he always pre-records like an intro track that plays from the moment the theatre's open. That's like about the history of the theatre. And it will just sort of like go on and on and on for
talking of that, which was really, really odd. I mean, a number of years ago, went to Brighton because one of my boys was at university studying music at Brighton University, and spent the weekend down there and went on this. They had this kind of big wheel thing, big giant Ferris wheel. I think it's the second largest in the world or something. Originally created for the World Cup in South Africa, and of course it travels all around the world. And of course you get into the pods, and it gives you a history of Brighton. So as the pod's going up on the Ferris wheel, the person actually doing the voiceover, the narration for the history of Brighton is Steve Coogan as Alan Partridge.
Oh my God.
Absolutely brilliant. And on your left, it's the pair. Brilliant.
Got that video up.
I have to see that. Here's a clip of Tony LeMesmer's on the wheel, and he's like, he changes his mind and he wants to get taken off, but they don't let him.
Please, let's watch it. It's only 30 more seconds.
I don't know. We might get flagged, but we can show a bit more a bit later. Play it as a second clip.
That was amazing. I'm so glad that you convinced me to show that extra 30 minutes, dude. Hell yeah.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, right.
Okay, so what else have people been watching this week, old or new, whatever you want to say? Blue, what you seen?
Well, I talked about it with Lord Toxic, but Enzo also saw Abigail, which the new ballerina vampire movie.
Yeah, people are pretty mixed on that.
I liked it.
Give us the basic premise without any spoilers, please.
Let's see. Go ahead.
It's basically the unofficial From Dusk Till Dawn Part 2. It's basically a crime caper about a gang of kidnappers who kidnap a young ballerina girl who seems to be the daughter of some important man who they will hold ransom. And it quickly is revealed halfway through the movie, just like From Dusk Till Dawn, that they're actually trapped in the house with this little girl, and she's actually some kind of vampire. And it's basically a bunch of bad guys versus a killer ballerina girl.
Yeah, that's pretty much
it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Blue, do you want to add anything?
No, I'm not sure if Enzo would agree totally on it, but like I feel like it's kind of got to me like a Evil Dead 2 Army of Darkness vibe, in the sense that it's comical, but like the funny satire, because you have grown men that are 4 times their size, because she's a 12-year-old vampire. So some of the death scenes are pretty over the top, but I think in a good way.
Yeah, it's very bloody, not very scary. But I gotta say, I did a total 180 when I saw the trailer. I thought it was cringe. I thought there was too much, cursy comedy, kind of everyone's being funny, and even though they're running from their lives. And I thought a vampire was kind of less scary. I thought it would have been better if maybe it was a werewolf child or something. But watching the movie, it's like, nope, I'm totally on board. And Dan Stevens, it was great talking about him again. We just saw him in Kong X Godzilla, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great in this one too, man. He's back to kind of his guest roots. The guest kind of playing a darker character, which was the first time I saw him. And man, that was a great movie. And he's awesome in that movie. He's like my new favorite. He's like my new Chris Evans, Dan Stevens.
Cool.
I was watching and thinking to myself, and on the ride home, as much as even Jeremy John said, I get the marketing, you had to say that, but when you're watching the film, the first basically half, the characters have no idea what she is, but we know as audience members, and at first people are, it's not a spoiler, they're getting killed by her, but like everyone's like, who the hell's killing us? And we know the audience, but they're like, oh, this sweet little innocent 12-year-old girl smiling, she's all scared and frightened, and had you walked into the film not knowing it's her, would have been a pretty good twist halfway in. So I mean, it's like I'm at this point, man. I'm really getting kind of tired in the sense that trailers and marketing, you're spoiling the entire fucking plot. The plot is that she's the villain, But
here's the thing, man. I gotta say, I think Predator works because they show you the alien at the beginning. They show you the ship landing. From Dusk Till Dawn, man, I showed it to a friend of mine, and here's the thing: I know for a fact I told her, "Hey, we're gonna watch. You love Quentin Tarantino, and you've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn." I know for a fact I told her it's the one about Mexican stripper vampires, right? You can't leave that out. But she kind of forgot I said vampires. And when the 180 happens, she got totally disconnected, totally stopped caring. She kind of was like over the movie. She wanted me to basically turn it off. She thought it was stupid. Whereas when you know the vampire's coming, it's just way more better because you have the tension, the buildup, you know, you're waiting for it, you're anticipating it. But yeah, watching her, like when the vampires show up, I was like, yeah. And she was like, no, this is stupid. What is this shit? And I was like, oh, I definitely told you there's vampires in it. She's like, I forgot you said that, and now I don't want to watch this anymore.
This must be Angus Cloud's last movie, because he passed away, didn't he? Really young.
Yeah, I heard that.
Is that the rapper guy? That is actually him?
Yeah. He passed.
What's his rapper name?
Because he was in that show with Zendaya, Euphoria.
Yeah.
Which I need to watch season 2 of.
I know his stupid rap name. What is it? It's not Mac DeMarco. That's a guy who plays guitar.
Yeah, he passed away in July of last year. At 20,
He's been dead for a long time.
At 25 years old, too. Wow.
Died on pills or whatever, or fentanyl. But what is his rapper name? Someone in the chat. Is anybody cool? Does anybody know his name?
I'm listening to rap.
It's not even rap. It's like that mumble rap shit.
Let's
see here.
Mumble rap.
Did you say his real name is?
Angus Cloud. Let's look him up on IMDb.
God, why do I have to do everything?
Let's put him here. Look, man. Here he is.
He's got that one crappy rap name. Like, you
know? American actor. Oh, no, wait. He's just an actor.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, I don't think this guy is a rapper, but I was just going to
who's the rapper I'm thinking of that died on
I have no idea.
How do we know that?
Okay, so Abigail, what do you give it out of 10? Oh, and I didn't give my rating out of 10 for Late Night with the Devil. I give it 8.5.
I'm fine with that. Late Night with the Devil. Abigail, I think it's a 7. It's a stupid fun time, but that little girl though, man. Tell you one thing, if Lance, whenever you and Gary and Luke see it, she's actually 12 in the film, and she's turned 13 in real life. Some of her dialogue, she carries the film. If she can do this kind of dialogue and acting now at 12, she's got a career ahead of her.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, unless they mess her up again, like Hollywood does with most child stars,
child actors.
Well, sir,
let them have a childhood.
Yeah.
Share my screen.
Okay.
Look, here's the thing. I was thinking of Mac Miller, who does look just like this guy. Okay, so you can't blame me.
He does look like him.
He is the dead rapper I'm thinking of. Mac Miller. It was Mac something. Okay. I got my finger on somewhat of the pulse of society.
Yeah.
But also I wasn't unfounded in thinking that, and I was weirded out because that rapper died a while ago. I was like, what the hell? How is he in this new movie?
You've got your finger on the big toe of society for sure.
What's your rating on Abigail?
I told you 7 is what I said.
Yeah.
7. Okay. All right. Northern, what have you been watching? What you seen?
Well, I did finish watching Anne with Maxine Peake, and yeah, that was a really great program. That I really liked it.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Hillsborough special.
And I didn't get a chance to watch the rest of the episodes, but I've done that, and even though it does go a bit more further on from the Hillsborough drama, you sadly do get to see a little bit more traction, but still not the full proper result that you of justice that you were hoping they would get, because it
doesn't go up to the. I mean, there really needs to be another drama series that takes it all the way up to the quashing of the accidental death verdicts and get the them getting the unlawfully killed final result. I hear History Bro's interested in making a drama show about that, so I'll put that to him on Sunday. See what happens. Good show. What would you give? What's your final rating on that?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah, I agree, man. It's good. It's good. All right, cool. What else apart from Anne?
Well, I've been watching, trying to catch up on House of the Dragon, because I know you want to do a stream on the second series when that comes out. So I'm trying to catch up on that. And yeah, I'm only 3 episodes in, and I am actually liking it. It doesn't top the first few seasons of Game of Thrones, but I do like Paddy Considine, and
Matt great in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's so
Matt
good
Smith
in it.
is probably the best thing. Is it Considine,
Considine, I think.
Considine, yeah. Because I've always liked this actor. I've liked him since Dead Man's Shoes and A Room for Romeo Brass. And
You're calling Patty Constantine.
Yeah,
you can't get Dead Man's Shoes on Blu-ray anywhere.
Really?
It's on YouTube for free. You can still get on DVD from CEX, thankfully.
Yeah,
but it's Matt Smith that steals every bloody scene he's in. No, he's just an absolute bastard, and I just love seeing him when he shows up.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to rewatch it for season 2 coming out soon. It's my cousin's pissed off. We actually did a whole hour video, but I'm probably gonna have to redo it with her because she's read them books like an unhealthy amount of times.
Inside Man, did you see season 1 of House of Dragon?
No. It's level with you. It's not really my thing.
Yeah, no, I understand. Fair enough.
It's just
not for everybody.
It's just one of those things, you know. But I mean, I've been watching. I don't know whether anyone's seen Nathan Barley at all.
Tell us more.
That program, it's been a while though. Fucking hell.
Tell us more.
Written by Charlie Brooker and Christopher Morris. It's about this character Nathan Barley. He sees himself as a little bit of a kind of a fashionable sort of finger on the pulse media mogul or mini media mogul, and it kind of follows sort of interaction between him and another character called Dan Ashcroft, who works for a magazine called Sugar Ape.
Played by Julian Barrett.
Yeah, Julian Barrett. Yeah.
Right. This is 2005. This show. Yeah?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's. I mean, if ever there was a series that's relevant now, it's this. When you look at the kind of stupidity and idiocy that there is around in media in particular. I mean, this absolutely told the story, so many years before it all really started to go fucking mental. But I love the character of Nathan Barley. He's a complete and utter deluded dick. But he's, he's so narcissistic, and he's, in fact, I'd even go as far as to say that he's solipsistic. He thinks that everything kind of revolves around him, that he is kind of like the master of media. Who else is in it? Oh God, what's his name?
Richard Adeoda.
Richard Ayoade's in it. Yeah, he plays a character called Ned Smanks, and he's sort of he's fucking brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant. And they work at this magazine called Sugar Ape, and their boss is a guy called Jonathan Yare. That's his name. And he's actually got an exclamation mark at the end of his name, and he changed it by deed poll. But there's a really good episode. It's a really, really good episode where they go to he has to cover this sort of art exhibition, photographic exhibition. This photographer who just photographs people pissing themselves, famous people pissing themselves. And
Liam Neeson.
And sorry, mate, go on.
No, I was saying Liam Neeson is like famously known for pissing himself in pictures. Look it up. There's tons of pictures of Liam Neeson on the street with like piss pants. It's weird.
I've heard that too.
I'm not going to Google that. Let us continue.
But the guy, the artist, his name's 15 Peter 20, and it's a fucking oddball. Yeah, it's really off the wall, and it's one of the episodes, because Charlie Brooker, obviously the creator and writer of Black Mirror, one of the episodes of Black Mirror was inspired by one of the episodes of Nathan Barley. But this is really it's way ahead of its time, like anything that Chris Morris does.
Which episode of Black Mirror was that?
It was I think it's in season 1, and it's oh God, for the life of me,
I wondered if it was the one with Jason Flemyng in, where he's playing the producer, and you've got that kind of animated.
Oh, Waldo.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one with Jason in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's in.
Great
but I
episode.
think that might be in season 2.
Was it 2?
3?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just looking it up. It was only 3 episodes in season 1. It was the Waldo moment. Yeah, it was episode 6.
The Waldo moment. That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Season 2. Jamie Salter controls a computer animated bear named Waldo on a satirical show. Waldo pranks politicians by asking them vulgar questions. And
Black Mirror is a very good show.
Yeah. I mean, it really is, and it kind of shows. I mean, you can kind of tell there's this kind of dark sort of quirkiness to Charlie Brooker's writing. Way back to way back to Nathan Barley, because there is a level of darkness about this show. It's not all sort of side-splitting humor, but it's fucking funny. I mean, it's satire at its best. It really is. But I love Chris Morris. I mean, 4 Lions was amazing. I love the Day-to-Day. Brass Eyes, one of the classic British TV shows.
Yeah, we should do a Chris Morris special sometime.
Yeah, did you ever manage to catch Jam? It was kind of a TV.
Vaguely remember that.
Some of the clips on YouTube. Yeah, that is bloody trippy. That it's funny, but it's also terrifying at the same time.
It started off as a radio show called Blue Jam, and that's really it's kind of, there are moments in it where you sort of feel really fucking uncomfortable. I mean, really uncomfortable. But it's, it's. I've got Blue Jam on audio, the radio series, so I can send it over to all of you. I'll pop it in a folder and send it over to you, so you can have a listen to it.
I'm just going to address this comment from Drew Gordon. Shane Meadows was from Nottingham, Dead Man's Shoes. I liked his first film, Small Time, filmed in Sneinton, where I lived at the time, so I could go, ooh, that's the local shop I use. Well, I was living in Nottingham at the time that was happening, and Shane and I were both part of this little kind of indie film movement. It was attached to the Broadway cinema, underneath which there was a media centre called Intermedia, funnily enough, and where we were always trying to borrow cameras and kit and whatnot. I was one of the first people to own a decent video camera, and Shane actually wanted to borrow my camera for Small Time, but I was using it, so I couldn't lend it to him. And they ran a story about him making his first film in the local paper and said, Shane Meadows of, Brown Road, Sneinton. And promptly after the story was published, his flat got burgled and all their camera equipment was stolen. And I remember him talking about that at the Q&A at the premiere of the film, saying the paper might as well have, put up a story saying "burgle me now." And from that point onwards, when they got the new camera, he said it was under his bed when he slept. He didn't leave his sight, basically. So I knew Shane very well at the beginning of his career.
I mean, Dead Man's Shoes is that's a pretty special film, I think.
More than English Bastards video on that show.
Jesus Christ, it's really worth what it really is. Gripping, and it'll stay with you for a long time. It still stays with me now. Some of the scenes where Anthony's just getting just tortured and harassed and dehumanized. It never leaves you.
Yeah, because
it's the kind of builds to it. You just don't know, and then all of a sudden you hit that pivotal moment, don't you? And you think, fuck, that's what it's about. Now I know. But I think that the bit where you knew the guy was a complete, that he was going to wreak his revenge on these people for reasons unknown at that point, was where he's sitting there. I think it's in the cafe, isn't it? And he turns around and he says, excuse me, mate, what are you looking at? And he goes, you cunt.
Yeah, that was great, that bit. And the guy just like shits himself, and then he does that thing where he he turns up outside the guy's house with the gas mask on.
Gas mask, yeah.
Wearing the hat with a flat.
Look outside, it looks like an elephant.
It looks like the elephant thing. And yeah, but the best thing is when he spikes all of their tea when they're looking for him in the house, and he's basically cut up all their drugs and poured it into the kettle, and they're all like going off their tits to different degrees. And
wasn't Gary Stretch? Don't you think Gary Stretch was outstanding in that?
He was. I've met him.
Yeah, I like the fact that he doesn't look like any of the other thugs that's with him. He's actually a bit more flashy, a bit more suave, while they're wearing like baggy jeans and tracksuits and that. And because he's probably asserting himself as the leader of them all. He's like the alpha of the gang.
I mean, I remember him way back when he was boxing, and I remember he had a fight. I don't think Eubank had actually got the title at that time, but I think he was on his road on the road to a super middleweight title, and he fought Gary Stretch, and he absolutely annihilated him. I think it was in 3. I think he absolutely took him apart in I think it was 3 rounds. Might have been 2. But yeah, Gary Stretch was he was running security for 24. Live Another Day. The one that was shot over here in London and Longcross. So he was kind of like head of set security.
Wasn't he a model as well?
Yes, he was. Yeah. I mean, he was a good-looking guy. He was, he was really, you can tell he really had model looks. Definitely not one for the boxing ring.
Right. Indeed. Well, Dead Man's Shoes is definitely a film you should watch if you haven't seen it.
It was with the face paint on because Anthony snuck in his room and had a little laugh of him.
Yeah. It's that's Matlock. That what's left of that castle. That is Matlock on top of the hill, and there's kind of like a little zoo thing behind it, which is where all this is filmed. But it was all abandoned back then. But I love this is their car, this like shitty 2CV.
Yeah, but no one will dare say how crap it was for fear of getting the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah, it's well funny. So Stupenzo, what have you seen, buddy? You haven't had a go yet.
Well, we did a movie catch up yesterday where we talked about Abigail and Stupid Rebel Poon, which we'll probably talk about at great lengths on Wednesday. We also talked about Late Night with the Devil and Ungentlemanly Warfare. But I want to talk about a movie I saw for like maybe the second or third time in my life, and it was one of my dad's favorite movies. It's called Jeremiah Johnson. It was about a mountain man played by Robert Redford, and that movie was so great. And I just loved it. It was great. Sidney Pollack. I didn't realize he had made it. But yeah, that was like my dad was like fancied himself a mountain man. He kind of liked to attribute himself as a Jeremiah Johnson type dude. So, I mean, you guys have seen it, right?
Yeah, I saw it on TV like quite a while ago.
It's good. It was good. I don't know. It's one of those subtle, nuanced movies that doesn't, go. It's kind of still to this day pretty unique film. We don't know much about this Jeremiah Johnson fella. He's out. He just wants to go be a mountain man, live in the mountains, and he encounters some old hermit who teaches him the ways, and then he ends up going off on his own and inheriting a little family, and they all die, and then he's back at home all alone and leaves. And that's the whole movie, dude. It's insane.
So it's a comedy.
No, it just talks about the hardships of the old days and just really awesome, majestic on-set locations. And also that classic, 70s hokey-style country that you would hear. Oh, man. Just takes me back to, like, when I would just go stay at my Grandpa Herb's place, like my dad's side of the family. And, he, like, lived in, like, this like, mobile home in the middle of the woods. And the guest room was like another mobile home, like 100 yards that away. and it was just like a big a lot full of random junk and wood, tires and tractors, some that worked, some that didn't work, all kinds of crap. He had chickens and goats and horses and a ranch nearby. It was crazy. It's always like camping.
Drew, mate, I'm sure you and I went to Rock City at the same time. This would have been in the mid-90s, buddy, around 95, 96. So.
Yeah, and John Milius, totally. One of my favorites. It does have John Milius vibes.
Is it me, or does he look like one of the Bee Gees in this photo?
I mean, everyone looked like the Bee Gees back then. Everyone had big beards and bushy hair.
Looks like Barry Gibb in this picture.
Talking of the Bee Gees, I'm guessing that everybody's really looking forward to Ridley Scott's Bee Gees biopic.
Is that really happening? Are you joking?
Not. Is that serious?
That's serious.
No way.
Yeah, might as well.
Ridley Scott.
Everybody else is doing one.
I'd rather
Bee Gees biopic.
Yeah,
I'd rather him do that than another stupid Xenomorph movie.
Yeah.
Holy Lord, that's a bear.
I mean, this apparently by all accounts, the footage that was shown at CinemaCon just recently I think there was 5 minutes worth of footage shown at CinemaCon by Paramount of Gladiator 2. Apparently it's outstanding. Yeah. They said the footage is outstanding. However, you have no context. So we've got no context of story or anything like that. I don't know how.
Where was that shown?
This was at CinemaCon in LA last weekend.
That must be online somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. Gladiator 2 CinemaCon.
But it was. I mean, I don't. Obviously, there's going to be a major reworking of history because, obviously, I don't know whether you know, but Lucius actually, in real life, actually died when he was a kid. I think he was like 8 years old or something. But there was another Lucius that his mother married this guy called, I think it was something like Gaius Julius Pompeianus, and they had another son, and he was called Lucius Verus Commodus Pompeianus. So they're kind of conflating the two characters. But apparently it's about a good emperor who wants to stop all wars, which sounds really nice. Although no idea which emperor that's going to be. It's supposed to be 25 years to the death of Commodus and after the death of Maximus, which makes it 217. And the emperor in 217 was an emperor called Caracalla, who was Caracalla. It was an evil shit and a warmonger. So I don't know how they're going to work that one out. I know we'll just make it up.
I can't find the footage anywhere. I found a still, but
apparently there's a naval battle in it. There's a naval battle in the Colosseum, which is about 150 years too late.
How can you have a naval battle in a Colosseum?
Well, what they actually did was, because the Colosseum itself, when the Colosseum was built, it was actually built on the grounds of Nero's palace, and he had a man-made lake sort of excavated there. And the lake was being irrigated by or being fed by the Tiber. So the lake was filled up by the Tiber. So anyway, when Nero was assassinated, when Nero died, they decided to fill in the lake and build the Colosseum, or build the Flavian amphitheater on top of the lake. But they were able to, it was just in the first century, I think it was about in the opening couple of years of the games, they managed to flood the Colosseum because at that time there were no catacombs or any kind of mechanics underground, and all of those were built about 50 years after they did the first flood. I think they only did about 2 or 3 naval battles there. But then they excavated it and they started putting the catacombs in, and all of the different chambers and the armory and all of the lifts and pulleys and all that kind of system there. But they did flood it a few times, and they had like sort of mock naval battles. But most of the naval battles were done on the Campus Martius, which is the field of Mars. They excavated that and did some mock naval battles, and they just sort of erected seating around the fake lake. But yeah, they've done that. Did it a few times, and but yeah, they did flood the Colosseum apparently.
Right, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So we might see a.
And he's managed to get his rhinoceros in this time as well. The rhinoceros scene that was cut. Rhinoceros scene that he didn't manage to shoot for the first one. He's got apparently he's got a gladiator on the back of a rhinoceros, on an armored rhinoceros, and they unleash a bunch of killer monkeys as well in the Colosseum as well for them to fight.
Are you making all this up? I can't even tell.
No, it's absolutely true. No, seriously, it's true.
I can't even tell if you're like messing with us and just going off the rails and joking.
I thought it was going to be one of those fake movie streams you do, Lance, you know, with the AI images and that.
But
James, I do go to the Prince Charles Cinema, mate. Yeah, I go there regularly. So I'll be at the Spy Who Loved Me screening on the Saturday in May.
It's a date.
So I'll be there with 5 other people. Don't try and ambush me, but come and say hi if you see me. Yeah. So
just don't ask him for autographs, okay?
Oh dear, I don't think anyone.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't like selfies and he doesn't like autographs anymore.
I don't think anyone's going to be needing a autograph with me. Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
That Lance guy, he was very unapproachable.
Yeah.
One of the comments on Drinkers Open Bar thing was somebody put, yeah, that old guy was right about blah blah, and I was like, I put underneath it, I take it you're referring to me then. Thanks for that. The old bloke on the stream. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if anyone does want,
you should grow like a big wizard's beard, and then you would look really old, dude.
I've grown the beard before. Trust me on that.
You should grow like a nerdrotic style, wizard beard.
No, I'll look about 70 if I do that.
Get a great big bushy beard.
You'll look like a cool 70. You know.
I thought, with my actual hair out, what's left of it. I didn't have my hat on. I thought I looked younger than normal, but apparently that didn't work. Oh dear. So
I keep my hair in a bag.
Yeah. Drew, I could tell you some stories about Nottingham, mate. Yeah, it was pretty full on when I was there. There used to be punch ups in town centre all the time, and that was just the women, First time I'd ever seen a woman get smacked in the face by another woman was when I lived in Nottingham. Proper punched. Anyway, we digress. Thank you for that update on Gladiator and Colosseum flooding information. Let's move on to when are we doing that stream with Gooch?
Rebel Moon tomorrow.
No, just remembered I'm testing the new shuttle tomorrow, but I'm going to mention Rebel Moon Part 2 briefly. And
it sucked.
Briefly. Now, I mean, I wanted to like this franchise. When I first heard it was coming out, I was actually quite excited because just saw images and posters, and I thought, oh, thank God, someone's written a brand new IP. It's actually something original. So needless to say, when it turned out to be a pile of just, expositional wank, I was a bit like, really? Is that the best we're going to get? But it's basically Magnificent Seven stretched out over 5 elongated hours. But the thing that really annoys me is like in the final battle, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. So Gord King's in the chat, mate. If you want to come on, let me know. I'll send you the link. Just none of it made any sense. I just was like,
it's a Zack Snyder movie, mate. he writes films to suit the visuals, not the visuals to suit the story.
Yeah, is he the new M. Night Shyamalan?
Oh, I don't know about that, but you know, I mean,
the guy stinks.
I liked 300. He's done stuff I like.
Yeah,
but
but so's Ridley Scott.
Yeah, true. You know, but me no likey this. So me no likey for a very short time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, I don't know, man. It's, you know, you can see the budget and you can see stuff in production meetings where, you know, they probably said, so, you know, tell us about this movie. Well, there's going to be we're gonna have some non-gender specific characters in it. We're gonna have a couple of other things. Blue, you can take that Alan Partridge thing down. You know, we're gonna have a couple of other things in it, and obviously, if you can get Michael Cera in it, then we'll up the budget a little.
I could never have saved Rebel.
Oh, he's here.
Never know.
Michael Cera's in the house.
I would not be capable of saving Rebel Moon.
Are you going to do? Are you going to do?
Oh, it's laughably bad. Like
I will say,
I managed to watch the
second one. I managed to watch the second one in one sitting at least. But yeah,
I did too. Yeah, I didn't think it could be as bad as the first one. I was like, well, at least they'll have some loose ends to cover. What's amazing is that the second half of this movie is almost entirely action, yet still manages to be boring.
I know, right? And I just like, you know, there was some really cool ideas in it, individual ideas. I kind of liked the fact that, you know, she goes to the engine room on the ship, which seems to be powered by coal for whatever, for reasons,
for grain to eat.
But at one point she goes to put this explosive on this power core thing, and then the power core thing has a face and it looks at her and it's like it's alive. And I thought, oh, this is really kind of cool. I wonder what the lore is about this. Are we going to find out? No.
Nope.
You're not going to find out. We're not going to tell you anything about it. But that seems to give a moment of like, oh, I can't attach those bombs there. I'm not going to kill whatever this living entity power core thing is. That would be bad. I'm going to do something else. Yet, actually, she does just do that.
I thought for a second like it was going to be like, hey, what you doing there? What do you got going on there?
Yeah, I was thinking like the trees from Wizard of Oz. Like, hey, don't you go around picking my apples,
little orcs.
That would have been, you know, at least that would have been interesting. It was just like the thing from Tron, but the South Park.
Just think how ridiculous Zack Snyder looks when he's like giving his big you know, his speeches behind the scenes, and his fucking arms are covered in the most atrocious like sleeve tattoos. He looks retarded. And he's just like, hey, dude, when I want to make this movie, bro, I just want it to be badass, dude. It's going to be cool. If you don't like it, dude, that's kind of like on you, bro. I mean, it says more about me than it says about you that you don't like the movie, bro. I mean, like,
I'm just like, why are you voting for
bro?
the focus groups, man? It's like, dude, no, it's not just focus groups. Everybody thinks your movie sucks. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because I understand the misconception. Like sometimes, yes, this focus groups get it wrong, but everybody's the focus group here. It's like we're all on the same page.
Inside man.
I mean, let's face it. Let's face it. This is the second part of his failed pitched trilogy, pitched Star Wars trilogy to Lucasfilm, isn't it? Let's face it. It really is. I mean, he's obviously pitched this to Lucasfilm and Disney, and they said, "No, it's shit. No, seriously, mate, go away. It's fucking shit."
Yeah,
something. It's weird because it's been 20 years now, and his Dawn of the Dead remake is still probably his most competently made movie, story-wise, where it shot everything, and even though it's not as good as the original, it's still a fucking great movie. It's still a really good zombie movie.
I've got this exclusive shot of the Alien engine room section. There it is. Honestly, that is exactly what came into my mind, was this thing from that South Park episode, You Have Zero Friends. And it's at the end they're asking it like really complex questions, and it was going like, yes, I don't know, kind of thing. And I just
bro, that's also literally Moses in South Park.
yeah, but it's like a Zack Snyder plot device. It was exactly like this thing. Like, don't ask it anything complicated because it can't give you an answer.
I would ask Zach one question. I'd say, okay, Zach, is Korra the child of fire and the scar giver, or just the scar giver? Because if so, who's the child of fire? Is every Rebel Moon gonna be another nickname of hers? I mean,
that's not the question I'd ask him.
I mean, that's just the first. I just want to see if he can answer a simple question.
I can ask
because I'm still trying to figure out what the child of fire means.
I'd be like, Zack Snyder, would it really be so humiliating, so embarrassing if you just got a demotion and just went back to being a cinematographer? If you just went back to being a DOP, would that be really that bad? Why don't you just stick behind the camera and just shut your mouth? So much better.
Drew,
I know it's not a question, but
that comment by Drew Gordon, I'm actually going to defend Zack Snyder a little bit on this. I like the movie Watchmen. His change to the ending is better than the graphic novel. It's better than the graphic novel. That change. The squid thing is stupid.
I like Watchmen. I like 300. I like Dawn of the Dead. Everyone does, but yeah, he's ever since. You don't shit the bed with Superman 3 times in a row and get a pass in my book. I'm sorry. Like, what? Like, why'd you do that? And this is after Sucker Punch and a few other. The Guardians of Ga'Hoole was interesting, but I mean, what was that?
I actually saw through him straight away, even after 300 came out. You see in South Park where they're taking the piss out of how he only does the slow motion where the characters are doing it, but it's over somewhat mundane, like filling a coffee pot. And the way you're describing it, it sounds like Zack Snyder has done the dumb thing and doubled down on that slow motion. Needless slow motion.
They have a slow-mo shot of General Titus filling a water bottle in the.
They've got
very much like the South Park episode.
They've got slow motion shots of people harvesting grain. There's a whole montage grain harvesting section.
Rebel Moon 2.
We talked about this yesterday, but we were.
Could you get the impression that the runtime was a little bit short, so they obviously had to sort of drag it out slightly.
Yesterday we were trying to figure out, okay, well, it's all about harvesting grain, so surely there should be like some kind of cereal tie-in, and there wasn't, but there is popcorn, Rebel Moon popcorn, which of course doesn't come from grain, that comes from corn. I was like, that's a missed opportunity with the marketing. Rebel Moon bread, a loaf of Rebel Moon bread, Rebel Moon beer.
These two actors who are in the movie, Damon Honsu's great actor.
Yeah.
Stas Nia, who is you may remember he was in Game of Thrones. He took over the Naharis role.
Yeah, they have both Darios in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because the other one's the bad guy. You know what, dude? I never thought of that. That's
Dario on Dario.
We thought about that. That was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, at one point, like, Damon's character, I can't even remember the character name. I can't remember any of the characters' names.
I know he's General Titus because it's
well. At one point, he does this thing where a villager like screams at him like in Victory, and he sort of like screams back like "Rah!" and then does nothing, and it's just all so shit. And the geography of the battle is just complete nonsense as well. It's not well established, and why do the villagers, they've got a small assortment of weapons between them, the ones that have hidden themselves in the tunnel that are going to be involved in close combat surely should have the bladed weapons, and the guys that are in the huts further up the hill who've got a bead on the advancing infantry should have the missile weapons, i.e. the guns, and should not charge out into the open with their bladed weapons where they can be mowed down at will in a meaningless death, as opposed to actually contributing towards taking out the enemy. Because it's that whole Magnificent Seven, how can we take out 300 of them? There's only 7 of us plus the villagers or whatever.
I think that if he should have just leaned into making this a full blown comedy, because they're basically holding Grain hostage. They should have just taken those Grain people they were practicing on, literally held them up with their guns up there. It's like, you get one step closer, we'll do it. Just lean into it. It would have been great. It's been
the Land of the Dead. Was that what it was called? Land of the Dead, Kingdom of the Dead, whatever.
He did Dawn of the Dead and he did Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Did Army of the Dead have a very comedic tone to it? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I
heard it was comedically crap.
Yeah.
Was there? Yeah, but it was very jokey. I'm just saying, imagine if this Rebel Moon had this jokey kind of quality to it. I don't know if that'd make it better or worse, but probably at least less insufferable.
Well, and they're in the same universe, so Zach said that this and Army of the Dead, for whatever reason, are part of the same universe. It's like, why are you telling us this?
Because you can't wait for that crossover movie, right?
Oh, God,
versus zombies.
Hey, Tim, good to see you in the chat, man. I was on Tim's channel the other night. Tim, let me know if you want to jump on. We got room. I'll send you the link.
I thought it was pretty crazy when Tarek and Titus full tongue kissed at one point before battle, but I was here for it. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
I pointed out on the stream yesterday that they make this big thing about the grain is really important. It's a bit like the spice, effectively, in June. So it's like currency. So they can't afford to destroy it. That would be stupid. And if they did destroy it, there would be a price to pay, probably the heads of the people that destroyed it. So they established that the grain is valuable, and then the villagers come up with the idea of putting the sacks of the grain round the buildings in the village so that the buildings can't be bombarded. That bears no resemblance to the defense whatsoever. They just go, yeah, fuck that, blow up the houses. And it's like, well, why did you bother establishing that grain was really important? You gave us a grain montage. You told us how great the grain is and how important the grain is. And now you're just telling us it's bollocks, it's meaningless.
Well, his whole justification for it was that when he would fire upon it, he was like, well, some of our men are down there. He goes, well, sure, but that's less mouths to feed. And I'm like, so you think that makes the grain real? I don't think that the grain was supposed to be intended just for your little battalion there. I would think it's for everybody that's part of this king's army.
Feed the ship for a few months or whatever. And why is this ship powered by coal? I came up with a theory yesterday.
It's based coal. It's super coal.
On Tim's channel, the theory I came up with was that the head, the thing with the head, eats coal and then shits out diamonds, and the diamonds are what powers the ship. That's what I reckon it does.
No, they harvest the trees from another planet, and the space trees that they burn to make space coal is much more. I don't know. That's all I got.
That's Mr. Freeze used diamond-powered lasers, so yeah, it's the same thing. Lance is onto something. They're going to power
covered in the 7-hour cut. That's we all can't wait to see that. That's coming out. What else?
Would you score this? What would you actually score this as? I'm really curious at scores on this.
I mean, the fact that it's 2 movies that you have to sit through, and there's presumably 1 to 3 other movies coming. I give it a 1, dude. It's insulting.
Really?
I should be paid.
I'd go 2.5. 2 to 2.5.
I'll be
separate
generous.
Movies 2. Yeah.
I'll be a bit more generous because I like some of the production design individual elements. The universe doesn't mesh together at all. It just feels like it's got 7 different directors and 7 different art directors. But I like some of the individual things. I like the people that put the guy in the healing tank and then they're responsible for bringing him out. The actors are doing their best with what they've been given. The special effects are fine, but all the important things that make a film great are just not here. It's a 4 out of 10 for me.
Heart or imagination, spirit. That's the thing is if you were to ask me Rebel Moon 1, Rebel Moon 2, what are your ratings on those individual movies? Yeah, probably a 2 or 2.5. Yeah. But the fact that this Rebel Moon franchise cinematic universe as a whole is an utter disaster. It's an utter failure. It's only proven Zack Snyder to be utterly even more incompetent than we imagined. it's just embarrassing. And the fact that it looks so cool and it's just such a waste of resources. This money could have fed homeless people, I mean, instead we're making a Rebel Moon movie
with
some
grain.
people do like it. Some people have some people have liked it. I think I said for a new generation of kids, if this is their first taste of a big budget sci-fi movie, i.e. their Star Wars and their 5, they might, they may love it.
I think we need to hammer home to the young people. This is not your Star Wars. This is your Battlefield Earth. Okay, that's what you've got here.
Yeah,
this is
problem at this point
without the cheesy charm.
These kids today have enough problems that are much worse to worry about than watching Rebel Moon.
These kids need their parents like me doing stuff like I'm taking my kid to go see the Mummy 25th anniversary in 2 days. I took my kid to see Spider-Man 2 last night. Like that's what you should be doing with your kids. Don't make them suffer Rebel Moon. Take them to see
Set
quality.
the bar high.
Yeah.
See, your kid's getting a driver's license already. I'm talking about little kids right now. They don't even. They're like movies. Hell, what are you, an old man?
I'll tell you what, Drew. I bet these 2 actors are really grateful that they don't have to come back for any of the other sequels. Yeah, I'd like to know what people in the chat think. Give me your ratings out of 10 for Rebel Moon. Don't rate the movies individually.
I'd say everyone's at a guess. I'd say everyone's going to give it a massive number 2, a solid stool.
Well, we've got a 3 out of.
That's hard too.
Like I would say probably the first one. Is written worse because it relies more on writing, since the second one has a lot more action. But
the first one I had to stop halfway through and literally
the first one's a little bit more boring, I guess.
See,
and it's so preposterous. I mean, literally, like at the beginning of the movie, it's like I had love and family beaten out of me, and then 40 minutes later, we were encouraged to take a lover. So it's like that is completely contradictory.
Yeah, the second one at least coaxed a few smiles out of me, even though they were ironic.
Yeah,
okay, so the general consensus is it's a bit shit.
What a load of old rubbish.
Well, did you all already talk about Late Night with the Devil, or
yeah, we did.
Well, we have mentioned it, but just give us your quick views and give us your rating out of 10, Gord. We'd like to know.
King. I did say Gord King. You're the one recommending that movie to me.
Yeah. I know when the trailer came out, myself and Vex Electronica were pretty high on wanting to see it. She saw it right before I did, then I watched it. I think it's fantastic. I'd give it at least an 8 out of 10 on first watch. I'm really looking forward to watching it again. I think it's probably already one of my top 3 favorite found footage type films.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there haven't been a lot of good movies I've seen this year, but so probably rank second for me. But and number 1 right now, I'd say it's probably Dune 2. But on rewatch, I honestly don't know which of those I'm going to prefer, because Late Night with the Devil has things going for it that Dune 2 doesn't, and vice versa. That's true of both of them. But yeah, I think it's excellent. I think the lead performance is outstanding. I think it's genuinely creepy and thought-provoking. Yeah, I really hope that movie gets a physical release, and I'm glad it's kind of got some steam. It looks like it's going to be a cult classic.
It's a great Halloween movie.
Yeah.
In terms of like treaty and other stuff, and it's not too scary. It's accessible.
It's a good one that you could show to young kids and suddenly catch them by surprise when all bad shit happens.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
It wasn't too blasphemous or violent. Abigail was kind of over the top, but yeah, Late Night with the Devil was nice. And, it was nice, and it was playing it safe, but still doing something new.
Yeah, whenever you want to watch the second time, it's already on Shudder. So
yeah.
Well, let's talk about a couple of other things that have come out. And Gord, if you've seen anything new or old stuff that you've seen for the first time that you want to mention, you can also chip in. One of the other films that I saw this week was called it's got a couple of different titles. Some people have called it Black Flies, but the title of the film that I saw was Asphalt City. This is kind of, it's in the lives of 2 paramedics. It's very similar dynamic to Colors if you ever saw that film when Sean Penn was a lot younger, and he was playing a cop in LA, and he was taken under the wing of an older cop played by, oh my
Robert
God, thank you, Robert Duvall, Consigliere from Godfather. Yeah, and that was all sort of at the height of the Bloods and Cribs gang violence in LA. This has got a similar tone in the sense that you've got the younger, more experienced paramedic and the older, more experienced paramedic, and the younger one who's sort of more idealistic and new to the job and still has that degree of positivity. The first 30 minutes of the film is following them over a series of shifts and just goes to show the kind of dire shit that they have to deal with, predominantly with ungrateful people who never say thank you. And you know, the kind of harassment they get when they turn up at a site of a shooting and this sort of thing. And I thought the film was all going to be set in one night. I thought it was going to be that kind of, you know, events of one night, like Training Day. It was going to kind of be like that. But no, it's actually set over, I think, several weeks, even possibly even 3 to 6 months, because there's several montage sequences which suggest a passage of time. We see the younger guy get into a relationship with a woman. We see that relationship go through some stages, and then you gradually see that the younger paramedic is slowly becoming more like the older guy, who's a lot more jaded. They turn up at one particular incident. Some shit goes down. I'm not going to offer any spoilers. If you like your quite gritty, dark stuff, and I know Northern, you're a fan of the Pen, and Sean Penn
as an actor, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's all about. We don't do politics here, man. If I say you're a fan of that actor, I don't mean their book collection or their interest in Belgian cheese making. I mean their performances in films. So, also Ty Sheridan, who's the younger counterpart, he's really good. Michael Pitt is in this film, and he's almost unrecognizable as another ambulance crewman who's into heavy metal. Kind of, you know, sort of, if I was doing a shift with Enzo as a paramedic, it felt like Michael Pitt was playing that role. So yeah, it's good. I give it 7 out of 10. It's not an easy watch. I probably won't want to watch it again. I probably won't want to own it, but I can respect that it's a very good, realistic depiction of what these people have to put up with. It's not going to make anyone want to go into that job, I'll tell you that.
Does it top Bringing Out the Dead with Nicolas Cage?
Very similar to that. Yeah, it's got a similar vibe to that for sure.
But what's better?
I'd have to watch, because the last time I saw Bringing Out the Dead, which I own on DVD, was probably when it came out on DVD. It was that early 2000s.
Wow.
So I'd need to rewatch it, and because it's not fresh in my head, and you guys know what my memory is like, so I can barely remember anything.
Chew the fat on it.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, we could do a Chew the Fat special on depressing ambulance based films.
But you got Nicolas Cage going crazy, and it actually does make sense for his character this time. It's not just Nicolas Cage being crazy for the sake of it.
Yeah,
you get what he is.
14 people watching and 14 likes. Oh, but what about those other 40 people that are pretending not to watch? They need to like it as well. Yeah. So anyway, but listen, if you like your gritty drama and, you know, good solid performances, you'll probably like this. If you prefer something more cheerful, it's probably not for you. Stepenzo, what else had you seen? You mentioned a couple of other titles, which I don't think we mentioned yet.
I watched Fat Beach with Coolio.
Is that beach or bitch?
It's PHAT space BEACH. It was actually a pretty fun movie from 1995 about a big fat African-American fella who really wants love. He wants to go out and be a Mr. Big Shot. He's basically a young 20-something-year-old. It's kind of like Friday. Him and his slacker friend want to go out and get ladies. Now, his friend is quite a player. He is quite a finagler. He has a lot of girlfriends. He doesn't remember their names. He confuses them. And,
ain't nothing but a G-string is the
he convinces his buddy. He convinces his buddy to steal his dad's car, his fancy Mercedes, and take it down to the beach, to L.A. Go to the beach and go pick up chicks. Now, this fat guy, he's got a bit of a confidence issue because he's big and fat, and he's addicted to food. That's the thing, is he gets to L.A., all he wants to do is eat. All he wants to do is eat. And his friend is like, yo, man, how about the ladies? You ain't gonna never get no whatever if you ain't, you're eating. And they also have limited funds is another thing. Well, there's some
those ladies hate limited funds, man.
What happens is because his friend is his little ladies man friend is quite a swindler, and he convinces his fat friend to quit his job, steal his dad's car, withdraw all of his money from his bank account so they can go have an awesome weekend at the beach. It's just like and then his friend is basically like stealing his friend's dad's car, driving around, acting like it's his car, picking up his own ladies. They're all fighting over specific ladies. There is like a nerdy girl who eventually gets with Fat Boy, which is a happy ending. But it's also cool because they lose all their money due to a bunch of happenstances, and they come up with some scheme to sell sunglasses, and that doesn't work. So then at the last minute, they find out, guess what? There's a volleyball competition, and it turns out the fat guy has a wicked serve, and they go enter the volleyball competition and win. The guy gets the girl. It's all a happy ending. It was fun and stupid, and Coolio plays himself.
Man, you spoiled the whole plot now. Now I don't need to see it.
I knew you guys were going to see it, so
you were right.
I feel Stepenso, here's the trailer. Can you cue that up? I feel like we need to see the trailer for this movie because
absolutely
I feel like I can't properly assess it without that.
It's going to be like watching the movie all over again. Hang on. Oh, it's live entertainment. I didn't catch that. This is the old VHS release. Let's see. Here we go. Here it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to the House of Burgers, where the burger's the king. Can I take your order, please? I'll have a burger and a lunch. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, we didn't steal that joke from Wayne's World.
Yeah, that was supposed to say.
Benny and Darrell thought it was time for a change.
Benny and Darrell, what you think? Thinner than an elephant.
And they knew there was a place
Quick your child who's mobbed to the beach today.
where all their dreams would come true.
Now, I was high as hell, and it was 4:20 when I watched this. Did I mention that? I should have.
You didn't have to.
I watched this and Half-Baked that day.
No way, Darrell. You can do anything behind the wheel of this car, man. Feel it. Feel its power. I'll get the keys.
Oh, pause for a second. This kid, the fat kid, this is the guy who plays Sam's from the film Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman, where he plays the teacher and he comes in and changes the inner city school in New York.
And you know what's funny is this guy right here played Anthony in the Stand and Deliver Stand By Me, Lean on Me parody film, High School High. So,
I've seen that.
John Lovitz.
That's a pretty funny movie.
Dude, he's like, my name's Anthony. He's like, Anthony? He's like, no, Anthony.
Let's play a bit more just in case there's some more bikini shots.
I'll get the keys.
There's tons. Basically, all women are objectified in this movie. Every single one of them is wearing a bikini.
Now they're on their way.
Hey, isn't Fantastic Voyage a cool song?
Yeah, it is.
Real good one, too. To the hottest spot in the country.
Hottest.
Got to LA, man. All you think about is food. We're about to have some fun under the sun.
Where life is fresh.
Fresh.
With a PH. Oh, my goodness.
Is it funky? Is funky next? Funky. And then fat. The strip club scene was hilarious. That's how he loses all his money. He doesn't realize the lap dances cost money, the fat guy.
It's a hip-hop endless summer.
Yeah, I'm leaving for the army tomorrow. Going off to war.
Really? Which one?
Oh my God, he got tiny whispers in it.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Why don't you just give me a big kiss?
That's my girl.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is a must-watch for me.
Now there is a little bit of a plot here. It's actually kind of funny because this girl is the one everyone fights over, and she's actually quite a man-eater. She takes advantage of dudes. She only wants dudes who she thinks has money. This is the nerdy girl who actually likes Benny. She thinks he's very talented, and of course, she's the nerdy one no one likes, and they end up getting together at the end.
You can tell because she's so pasty.
Aw.
Yeah, but
right. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to watch the rest of that for fear of getting blindsided here.
Yeah, I thought I was watching Citizen Kane there for a minute.
I recommend it.
This does look like one of the movies Tracy Morgan would have spoofed in 30 Rock.
It does look like a if you want beers and a pizza and you don't have to think about it. Hey. I
mean, if you replace Rosebud with Hosebud, I mean, it's kind of Citizen Kane.
I got so roasted.
It got released in the UK, went straight to tape over.
Who made fun of you? Tell me. Give me their names.
So I got to ask my American guests, right? Is Big Mouth some sort of controversial leftist propaganda show?
I don't know.
I mentioned I liked Big Mouth, and I thought it had clever writing on drinkers. I got roasted for fucking saying that.
Yeah, I think it's because people are like, oh, that show has pedo vibes. And it's like maybe.
I think it's because it's depicting young people in.
It's young people going through puberty, and if you like this show, you're a degenerate. It's like, bro, the show's pretty degenerate, but I think it's mostly like. I think the problem I have with Big Mouth is the lore makes zero sense, like how these puberty monsters even work and stuff. It's just bizarre. And one season was enough of that show, I think. I haven't really seen anything after that. Just like BoJack Horseman. I watched the one season. I was like, this is fine. And then never watched anything after that.
The thing with the stuff that was happening in Big Mouth, wasn't they already doing that in fucking South Park with the fucking, like the Hooters girl, but they're all late and...
raisins.
All the girls are actually slaughtered.
I remember that. Yeah, raisins.
That was a hilarious episode, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, but this guy just cracks me up, man. And,
I swear, I thought that was Will Arnett.
Here's what's funny, Lance. You're doing you're doing what Lord Toxic does, which is like, don't let the internet know something's bothering you. Like if they make fun of you for Big Mouth, just be cool with it.
You're no. You're mistaken, sir. I'm not bothered. No. I'm just interested to know what the American perception of this show.
What is his nose?
For me, it's just mindless nonsense.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
His nose
Come on.
No, yeah. I mean, I know like Megan liked this show, and I don't know if she's watched all of it though. I mean,
it's fucking hilarious.
It's funny.
It's like 20 minutes an episode. This guy just cracks me up, and I used to put it on just before I went to bed because it would make me laugh, and I'd kind of forget about, whatever shit I was going through, and then hopefully I'd get to sleep.
Yeah.
I've been doing that with Narcos, which is tonally very different, of course, but I've seen it before, so I'm actually like nodding off in it.
Yeah,
but I thought this is the sort of thing people watch when they have a spliff and whatnot,
Yeah, people miss laughing. Lance,
yeah, dude, we watch Fat Beach, bro.
When friggin' Ted, as soon as Ted came out, my sister's like, Chris, I binged all of Ted. I happened to fucking watch Ted, and of course, you have people in like the Critical Drinking Group or Facebook. Oh, Ted is fucking terrible. It's like, okay, well, it's breaking records on Peacock and Paramount or whatever, and it's blowing up 98% audience rating. So you're always at that one dickhead, like, well, Ted's lowbrow humor. Well, you know what, dude?
100 comments all saying, hell yeah, brother. And one comment being like, nah, dude, you're wrong. Hell no. And then that one comment was the one that stays with you. You're like, what?
We're in 2024. You see a fucking clip of Al Bundy. Oh my God, Al Bundy was so fucking misogynistic and he's so toxic, and shut up. Like,
like, I know, wasn't it great?
Yeah.
But it's just obviously I have no perception of what this show is, what the views are of Americans on it, because I don't, apart from when I'm with you guys.
Well, right now America's entrenched in a anti-grooming war, so anything that has anything to do with like sexual nature and children is immediately poo-pooed on. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's a very they're culture warriors that are just.
I haven't seen Big Mouth, so I can't comment on.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be like, this show's trying to teach kids to be agender and sexless weirdos and have fornications with everybody. I mean, who
I don't
knows?
think
I
they've
don't know.
done anything with the gender thing in it.
I would think you wouldn't let kids watch Big Mouth. It's not for them.
No,
that
Like,
too.
parents, do your job.
Yeah, the kids are voiced by grown-ups, though, aren't they? It's not like Cuties where they
But
actually
that's the other
did
thing.
10-year-olds.
It's for that's
Well, they'll say, "Oh, this show's for adults, and it's about sexualized children, so it's for freaky adults." You know, I mean, you can't win. There's always going to be someone that's going to be poo-poo in it because of whatever moral high ground they seem to have, whether it's justified or not.
All right, let's
just come to terms with sexuality a little bit, though, and still had no idea about it, even though they wanted to indulge in it.
I mean,
so it was all like
show's funny. That's all that matters. Is it funny? That's all I care about.
Let's talk about something less divisive, and let's hit, because we didn't have Gord King on last week, so this should be an easy one. Let's talk about Fallout.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's like, wow, I've seen a few things that recently that I hadn't before, including Fallout.
You were being funny.
Yeah, Fallout. I had a decent time with it. I don't think it would hold up well under scrutiny. I was listening to you all on a open bar, and I don't disagree with anything Mahler said as far as where the show is severely flawed, and also the way I watched it was like episodes 1 through 4 I watched on their own. Like I got to watch them, I got to kind of mull them over and think about them, and then waited before going on to the next one. And I found a lot more wrong with those episodes, whereas 5 through 8 I watched in one sitting because I had a show the next day where we were going to talk about it, so I noticed a lot less and had a decent time watching it. It does not, I would, like I said, I don't think it holds up well under scrutiny in all likelihood, but there's enough in it to where I would recommend to a Fallout fan, watch it. It's entertaining. Walton Goggins is great. I like the girl in it. Maximus is terrible. I don't like him at all, but for the most part, I think it's an enjoyable show.
Yeah, I think Moldova was the worst written character, though, because I actually am with Reaper a little bit on Moldova, because what was her whole plan with the fucking vault? She was like, she got her own friends.
Her character's not very good either.
Also, there's another movie where all the women are running the show.
If the show is really trying to push a pro-communist thing with Moldova, then they haven't really succeeded, have they? I don't know if that was the intention. I don't know if
I agreed with Gord King where he said that, the end, it's a lot of contrivances and coincidences and amazing, astonishing happenstances going on in the plot.
I do have problems with some of the way the show's written, mostly from the structure and pacing, because some episodes could have been condensed a little bit just to tighten the script up a little bit. I just feel like they're trying to put a bit more in than they should have, but I still enjoy this. I would rather watch the full series 10 times during the day than one episode of The Last of Us and Halo and the Netflix Resident Evil.
I was pleased I was able to watch this pretty much all in one go. I think I saw 4 eps one day and 4 the next. I just didn't overthink it. I just thought, this kind of looks and feels like Fallout. I don't remember half the lore, but I'm like, I recognize that and I recognize this, and it felt like the game I'd played. It didn't feel too woke, and it was fun, and that was all I really wanted. And I just didn't overthink it. Yeah. Sure, if I was to do a breakdown and anal analysis, I'm sure I'd be able to, find all kinds of flaws. And it's true, a lot of what Mahler said was bang on, because I remember at the end, me and Drinker said, "Okay, you've won. You're right." But
and he had the benefit. He watched it twice. He took a lot of notes, and that's what he does, and he does it extremely well. So I was like, I personally, after I watched it, I was like, okay, I had a good time with this. I'm curious what him and his and the EFAP guys would think about it, because I was like, I had a good time, but I have a feeling that you could pull this thing apart pretty easily.
They were doing that with Rebel Moon 2 the other day, and I was listening into a bit of it, and I was like, you're echoing my mindset here. Is there anything else anyone has seen that they'd like to mention, give a shout out to, or plug?
I know me and Blue Collar were on Leon's channel yesterday talking Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which I saw yesterday.
Yeah, just watched that. Just watched it as well. I'll mention that as well. If
oh, Norton, have you seen it? It's not out there.
I sailed the 7 seas to watch it, and I wish it could have been better. It's good in places.
He went to a theater to go see it. He said, "No."
Yeah.
Did you?
He flew down here to Texas, and I took him to the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this a cam theater or was it HD?
It was a cam theater.
Was it an Indian theater with a lot of casino advertisements?
Yeah. I couldn't watch the film without someone trying to get me to gamble.
I mean, I enjoy. I had a pretty dang good time with it. Like I wouldn't like go like really high with the rating. I just go with a solid. It's good. It's like
Is it a Guy Ritchie movie? Is it? Does it kind of feel like a Guy Ritchie movie, or does it feel like?
Yeah, it's like I would say it's like it's like a notch above. It's like a notch above Man from U.N.C.L.E. I'd say it's about there, but a notch above Man from U.N.C.L.E. You could probably make a comparison between it and Sherlock Holmes. My guess is more people would like Sherlock Holmes a little more, and understandably so. But yeah, I'd say it's a little better. It's a bit better than Man from U.N.C.L.E., I would say.
Yeah, they should have cast another actress for I forgot the name of the female spy because she was a white woman, and he cast a Latin woman in a role that's.
You know what? I didn't mind Elsa Gonzalez. I don't mind. Elsa Gonzalez is so freaking hot. Yeah, so I enjoyed.
You kind of got a black guy in a pinstripe suit walking around German-occupied Europe, even in a bloody fancy train, and no one bats an eye. It's like
I thought it was weird how the Nazis were not very racist. I thought that was strange.
Yeah, that did distract me a little bit from the movie. But apart from that, the scenes with Cavill, Richardson, and the guys blowing the Germans to Kingdom Come were fun. I wish the part where they were storming the airfields was actually done at night and a little bit more closer to the book, because if you read the book,
takes place in Crete, does it? It starts off in Crete, I'm assuming.
I think so. To be honest, I need to watch it again. I don't.
He couldn't tell because there were casino adverts over those times where that scene was.
I'm pretty sure the whole thing took place in India. But I also watched. Okay, so my dad saw this movie a few years ago, and he liked it, and has been kind of here and there telling me to watch over the last few years, and I was like, okay, maybe someday. And it turned out it's a movie that the Soska sisters did, who, obviously have a connection to Eric July. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And granted, I'm not all that wrapped up in the Eric July thing because I don't read comics that much, but it's a movie called American Mary. I hated it. Oh. I thought it was a terrible film. I was like, it has an idea behind it that could have been done well. And I'll give the actress, Catherine Isabel, some credit. She's a good actress and elevates the material she's given, but overall, it's a bad movie, and it's a sleazy movie that it leaves you feeling kind of dirty and not in a thoughtful way or an interesting way or a good way. It's
do dirty stuff. Make dirty movies like puking on each other or some shit.
No, it's basically this girl. She's a medical student.
You took it down a couple of tiers real quick there, didn't you, man?
That's what
next thing you know, we're doing reaction videos.
That was disgusting, but
it's basically about a girl who she has a bunch of medical bills to pay. She is a gifted medical student, but she goes to a strip club one night to get work, and somebody shows up who immediately desperately needs surgery, and she's brought up that she's a medical student, so nice coincidence there. And she does surgery on this guy, and I guess she saves him. They're not all that explicit about whether she does or not, but she starts getting into the underground realm of body modification surgery. So that's really what most of the movie is about, is her doing body modification stuff on there. So it's a little ahead of its time in that regard, because there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on now. We give it a little bit of a different name. But so it's a very odd subject. So I'm like, okay, you could do something with that, but the dialogue is awkward and stupid, and most of the actors are terrible. A lot of stuff is contrived. It's a bad movie. I was a little disappointed in my dad. I haven't told him yet what I think of it, but I'm like, why'd you like this? This is not a good movie. I was like, what? I don't want this in my movie collection.
These are the sisters in this shot, and it looks like they've got the lace actually going into their back, and I'm wondering if
I think it's meant to look that way. Like they have probably the most
edgy.
They have the most bizarre procedure done on them. Like and it's that's one's really ridiculous. They want each other's left arm removed and put on the other, as well as to have like horns put in their heads and stuff. And I'm just like, what is this?
Benzo, that looks like you getting your teeth done there, man. What's going on?
No, but yeah, it's a terrible movie. Like I said, I think Catherine Isabel is a decent actress who could be utilized in a better film. I've seen her. She was in the show Hannibal. She does a good job in that. She's a pretty actress. She's good at what she does, but she keeps getting put in these like really awkward and bad roles like this one. I'm like, why do this to yourself? Yeah, it's a crap movie.
Feels like it was cold on this set. Don't know.
Yeah, this actress, like she's the one who kind of pulls her. Like she's her face has been modified by someone else. She's meant to look and sound like Betty Boop, and she has like a friend who wants her nipples cut off and her vagina mostly sewn shut, so to look like a doll. I'm like, that's pleasant.
That's my kind of movie.
Okay, well, dare I ask, what do you give this film out of 10?
3. I'd give it a 3 out of 10. It's pretty terrible.
I thought I was a sick bastard, but Jesus.
It's not. It's like I said. I was watching it. And I'm like, can I quit this now? This is gross. This is not a good movie.
Yeah, I've seen that film Audition. That's an interesting movie. Similar realm to the one we've just been discussing. Before we start wrapping up, has anyone else got anything they want to plug in terms of stuff you've seen before we get on to challenge?
Real quick, Lance.
Well, I actually watched it. No, sorry, go, mate.
I'll not say it didn't get much press, but Nick Cage had a new film come out called Arcadian. It's okay. It's a Shudder film that came out in theaters. Only had one showing. It's about him and his 2 kids at the end of the world. It was, it's a one-time watch. Nothing great, but
is that kind of like dad protects kids from the apocalypse, bad guys turn up type movie?
The difference is they have creatures that come out at nighttime only, and they're smart to use the CGI at nighttime because you can tell it's like not the highest budget. It's not like Sharknado bad, but it's not really high quality CG. So they fight these creatures at nighttime. During the daytime, they're safe.
Right.
So they mostly come out at night.
Mostly.
Yeah.
It looks all right. This looks like
it's when it comes on Shudder, I think it's worth watching if it comes on Shudder, but I wouldn't rush out and pay money to see it. It's I think at this point we do set the bar lower, where Nick Cage, good father, strong, teaching his kids how to be hunters and stuff, and like nothing woke or anything like that. But it's just a very average kind of movie. It feels like it was a Shudder movie. They just had to throw it out in theaters for a couple of days.
There you go. That's a classic Nick Cage angry mad face.
He doesn't overact. He doesn't do his usual Nick Cageisms.
Boo!
So, yeah, he's being a very tame dad. So.
Okay.
His face is looking pretty rough though, with the very obvious surgery he's done. I also, I forgot. I also saw Kung Fu Panda 4 a few days ago. Boy, what a waste of time that was.
Is it that bad?
It's just it didn't need. I mean, it's not an awful movie, but it's the kind where you're just like, why? It's like this was just cash grab stuff. It story was bland. I didn't crack a smile even once. I was just like, why? It's like I think kids probably would have a decent time with it, but it's like a 4 out of 10 kind of movie where it's very low effort.
It's great.
The best part about it is Jack Black. Them singing "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" during the after credits. It's the best part of the movie.
It's true.
So it's the credit scene. That's the best thing.
That's so sad because in the second one, you kind of get that really good message about using the pain from your past to move on and become something positive with it. And the most powerful thing in the fourth one is Jack Black just singing "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." That's so, oh God, the bar has been set so low now. It really is, especially from the second one.
They like to remind you a lot in Kung Fu Panda 4 that he has 2 dads also. That I mean, it's not presented necessarily as a gay thing, but it's a joke they hammer into you about 7 or 8 times. And it's like, this is stupid. Just stop.
Okay. Inside Man, you had something you were gonna.
I managed to watch both seasons on YouTube of Back to Alan Partridge again. It's Alan Partridge's Mid-Morning Matters. If you haven't seen that,
that's so good.
Amazing. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
so if you haven't
What's it called
seen
again?
that and you're a Partridge fan, Mid-Morning Matters.
Let's look at a clip of it quickly.
Sure.
Because I'm sure we can find one, and Gord, it will give you an idea. I've watched them all. You can watch it all for free on YouTube. I think it's actually on the official Partridge website or something. A Baby Cow.
It's actually on there for free. There's quite a few people that have got the series on there.
Let's here we go. If we put on this clip, which is a compilation of some of the best, and Baby Cow, don't copyright us, because we'll be attracting lots of people to your website with this clip. I'll just pop this in the private chat, and we'll see between Drunken Blue and Sharp Enzo who can put it up quickest. But yeah, it's Alan Partridge doing his radio show in Radio Norwich. He's got like a
North Norfolk Digital, Norfolk's best music mix.
That's right. Yeah,
with Tim Key as Psychic Simon.
I'm afraid it depends. I have guests on, and yeah, it's pretty good. If you want to, there's loads of it on YouTube, isn't there? There's hours of it.
Tons of it. Yeah, hours and hours.
Did you all see the trailer for Jennifer Lopez's new movie Atlas?
I said, the CGI looks. From the CGI
effects look good, but everything else looks pretty great.
What's the CGI and J-Lo to make her look young, less plasticky?
Let's have a look at it. We can end watching that.
The CGI does look good, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
J-Lo plus Titanfall, basically, but
yeah, you're not wrong.
And cringe.
You're right. The effects look good.
I can't wait.
Lance,
clearly
this movie is out of control. This is out of control. It looks out of control.
It's good.
The effects look good.
The whole I guess I read up online earlier. The Deadpool 3 trailer broke another record, so it's this is doing good.
And it was a good trailer. I liked it.
So we'll see. I mean,
would you say?
Like, granted, it was a little bit about the Deadpool 3 trailer that was good. It definitely was, good for a Disney trailer. So I mean, when it's a Disney movie, you're expecting garbage, and it was like, okay, wow, that actually wasn't terrible. It was kind of good, but yeah, it actually has a legit shot of being the second R-rated billion-dollar movie.
Yeah, in time will tell.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we're going to begin to wrap up there. So, a couple of announcements. Inside Man and I will be starting our new Sunday stream this Sunday. Hopefully, we're going to have a kickoff time of 8 o'clock. I am going out in West London during the day, but I should be back by then. We'll be going into behind the scenes of Band of Brothers. We'll be doing an episode a week. We'll be doing a whole episode on the episode that was never made, but hopefully we'll have the script for that episode.
Nice.
And here are some people on the set of Band of Brothers. Inside Man, do you recognize anyone in this picture?
No.
Yeah, there may be someone known to us in this photograph. That's all I'm saying.
There's a guy on the right with his mouth.
Yeah, the guy at the back pulling the face, quite possibly. Yeah, so we're going to have loads of behind the scenes pictures like that. We're going to be covering every episode in some detail. We'll be going through the scripts, talking about all of that kind of stuff. We are doing the review of Shogun tomorrow, the final episode at 10 o'clock, 5 p.m. East Coast. I watched it today. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow.
It ended. It's over though. So
it's over. I've got a lot to say about it, but I'm going to keep my mouth closed. But you will recall me saying a few episodes ago, if I expect to see XYZ at the end of the episode, and if I don't, I'm going to be pissed.
So
yeah, someone in the drunk post actually gave it away, and before I got a chance to, I ain't even seen it yet, and it's like it sounds like it's ending the same way as the original did, and I'm like, I'll still watch it.
I mean, there's well, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but there's good things in it. It's not a. I mean, it's been a good show. It's been a good series.
Yeah.
But I will let you know. Probably won't be on the stream for long because at 11 o'clock I'm doing a stream on Dead Men Don't Wear Played with Emperor J.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice movie.
Yeah, great film. Well, to be honest, mate, I'll be quite happy to wrap it up in an hour if we can. But but you know, it depends if Leroy wants to plug his book, and we might be on for 90 minutes. But no, bless him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Joking aside. Yeah. Okay. So that's I got that coming up. I got the Damon Herriman interview coming up on Saturday. So just to let everybody know again, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. It has been moved from Friday night originally at 9 p.m. Because he is currently shooting a movie with Kevin Bacon. So we had to reschedule according to his commitments, as we always do with these things. But it's only a day later, so we'll be talking to Damon Herriman at 9 o'clock. I had a half an hour call with him yesterday, and it was just like two blokes talking about stuff down a pub. It was great.
Nice.
So I can tell the interview's going to be a ton of fun. Then me and the Inside Man next Thursday are also doing an industry interview, and we'll be talking to this chap who has worked on a few things. Just going to get his IMDb up now. There we go. We're going to be talking to military advisor, actor, producer, writer, novelist Dale Dye, who trained all the soldiers on Band of Brothers, worked on Saving Private Ryan, has even done some Steven Seagal films for his sins. So, yeah, Dale Dye. We're going to be talking about his whole career, but this will tie in nicely with our Band of Brothers stuff, of course.
I just wanted, can I just quickly interrupt there, Lance, because you know I'm so grateful to you for inviting me onto this particular
not at all.
stream. I genuinely am, and I mean I haven't spoken to Dale Dye for many years, and I can't wait to catch up with him. I really cannot wait. But it's such a pleasure for me and a privilege for me to have been invited onto this stream, and I can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful to you.
That's all right. I'm grateful to you for committing to doing 11 weeks of Band of Brothers with me and agreeing to dig out all 400 of your photographs that we're going to show, all of them. So, and sending me scripts and things. So it's all good, man. Don't worry. This is the channel where we give back because we care. So this is going to be a blinder of an interview. I really can't wait.
He's a wonderful man, a really wonderful man. He really is.
And I've also been talking to actor James Brolin today, and he has, assuming it's him, and I'm not 100% convinced, but assuming it's him, he has committed to doing an interview on the 25th of June at 2 p.m. California time, Pacific, 10 p.m. UK time, 25th of June. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure it's him. I'm not 100%. So until I've done a tech check and seen him on camera, and I mean, I had this with Donal Logue once, and I'm like, you really Donal Logue? Here's my phone number, and he called me, and it was him. So I'm prepared to, I'm just being cautious, but we'll see. But he said he's given me a date, so we'll see.
Nice.
I still haven't managed to lock down a date for Peter Hyams yet, who directed Capricorn 1, who, of course, James Brolin was in, but hopefully Peter Hyams has said he'll come on the channel. Comms with him are very difficult at the moment. So, but don't go anywhere yet, chat, because we want to plug my co-host stuff. Blue, anything coming up you want to plug quickly?
Let's say besides seeing a Mummy 25th anniversary, I know me and West were Toxic. We're going to check out the new Zendaya film just because why not? I'm not sure what to expect. But Lance, we know this.
Critics love it.
I mean, I walk into a movie like with Civil War. I try to be as neutral as possible. I don't know if it's going to be bad or good. We'll check it out.
Critics love it. It's got like 96.7% right now. They love it.
Is that what, Civil War?
No, it's the new Zendaya film.
Yeah, Challengers.
Challengers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we all go into a film with just the bias of like, I don't have high expectations, low expectations. I just want to see what it's going to be about.
I saw the trailer for it, and I really like Zendaya. I think she's very talented. Just didn't really. I just thought a film.
I didn't think it was a very good trailer. It might be a good movie, but I thought the trailer was like, this looks a little, a little melodramatic, but
mainly a chick flick. It's young girl getting the attention of two guys in a position of power. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't interesting. It kind of looked interesting, but just wasn't interesting to me.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know next week how it is. So,
yeah, Stupenzo. Anything to plug, buddy?
I'm going to be on Scavenger's Reign, episode 7, in about an hour and a half on Gooch's channel, and then tomorrow also on Gooch's channel we talk about Rebel Moon Part 2. The Scar Person. I do have a movie set to release tomorrow. Technically, it's Krippendorf's Tribe, but it's still under copyright review. And technically, the video's up. I could put it up, but I'd hate for it to get blocked after the fact. So it's either going to be Krippendorf's Tribe or Captain America from 1991, which I will probably watch tonight at 10 o'clock after 10 p.m. in about, 4 to 5 hours. We'll probably watch Captain America. So if you see me in my Discord, you see me in the theater watching Captain America from 1991, please pop in.
Hang on, that's the Captain America that my friend directed, Albert Poon, right?
Albert Poon.
Albert.
Yeah.
Albert Poon.
That's his name. Hell yeah.
Albert Poon directed Captain. That you're talking about the one with Matt Salinger in, right?
Yeah. Lance,
my friend directed
you're
that.
Awake at this ungodly hour, 5 a.m. for you or whatever. Pop in.
That's
Albert Poon. If you can get Albert Poon in on the Discord, I'll send him a link. He can come in and watch the movie.
Well, that would be very difficult, Stupenzo, because he's deceased. But
R.I.P. Poon. I am going to watch the movie tonight and hopefully either release that unedited tomorrow at 2:30, like under the hair of my ass, or maybe I'll get a dispute acceptance in the next 20 hours or so, and then I will release Krippendorf's Tribe. Who knows? Playing it by ear.
I'll tell you now that I think it was about 7 days before day one of filming, the budget for that movie was slashed by 90%.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. It went from like having a budget of like 20 million to like, here you go, Albert, here's 1.2.
Right.
Don't forget to pay yourself.
It's like the Fantastic Four movie that I know Adam Gray wants to do on his show. But yeah. So expect one of those movies tomorrow, Wednesday. I might watch it with Jay, actually. Gooch. We'll see.
Nice.
Okay, Captain America 91. Don't forget he also directed
Krippendorf's Tribe, one of them.
He also directed the Fantastic Four movie, the one that kind of didn't get released.
Right, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, I wanted to watch that one, but the only version I could find of it is like got a weird aspect ratio. So, and also Adam kind of called it. He's like, I want to do that. I was like, all right.
Gord King, tell us about the 79 streams you've got happening in the next 3 weeks.
Let's see. In about a little less than an hour and a half, I'm going to be on my channel. We're going to be talking about the Warriors, which is awesome.
I thought you'd already done that tonight. I thought you went early, but you're doing it later.
No, we're good. It's the 5 o'clock streams are a rarity. I only did that one last week because I did Amadeus right after, and that's my favorite movie, so I had to do that one. But yeah, my typical starting time is 9 p.m., so that's about an hour and a half from now. Then let's see, nothing other than my gaming stream, nothing tomorrow or Thursday. Friday, I'm going to be on Abomination AJ's channel. We're going to be wrapping up our Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix version coverage, so that should be fun. Saturday, I'm going to be on Fermented Cinema's channel, I think at about 5:30 p.m. my time. We'll be talking Mad Max Fury Road.
Nice.
And then,
congratulations on the 1K, man. Nearly at 11.
yeah, closing in on 1100, and currently, and I'm currently working on a video script for the movie Nightcrawler.
If you want a good laugh, I highly recommend Gord's Rings of Power's detailed breakdown analysis. Yeah, he really does get to the heart of the shit in that show for sure. And yeah, it's good.
Just a quick question to Gord. Have you read the Blood, Sweat and Chrome book about Mad Max Fury Road?
I haven't. No.
Right. Okay. Do you follow me on X? I think you do actually.
So yeah, I think
Retropolis
so.
now. Yeah.
Okay. I know that I definitely follow you. I'll send you a message and I'll get something over to you.
All right.
That might help you. Might help you for the stream.
There you go, mate. Yeah, you get all your inside information here.
What's your @ handle? Just to make just I want to make sure that I'm following the right person.
It's Retropolis now. You are following him. I remember you're following him already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
Retropolis now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got like a burning airship or something. Northern, you got anything you want to plug, mate?
Apart from Deadman.web played tomorrow with Jay Goodwin, I'm trying to see if I can put together a review of Fallout, and I might try and do Gentlemanly Warfare as well.
Right.
Whenever I can.
Yeah.
George, your Rings of Power episode 1 review, man. It's hit 10,000 views.
It did, yeah. It's hit 10,000, yeah.
That's pretty fucking good. You know, I told you that video was going to do well, didn't I? I shared it a couple of times, but I'm sure loads of people.
It's the most popular review I've done. By
more views than the actual episode.
Exactly. I did it.
Than the actual episode of the show. It's got more minutes and more people made it to the end of your review than they made it to the end of episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So Inside Man, obviously you'll be with me on Sunday and next Thursday.
Yeah, and I've also got something that Northern and I will be doing. We're doing kind of a run through of Live and Let Die.
Yeah, I want to try and
nice.
try and get Ghost and Craig and Tony down, and maybe another guest if we can. And I just need to get time and a day organised for it, because Tony is Australian and they're like nearly 12 hours ahead from us. So I've got to pick a really good time for him.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we were on together, we did the about 5.5 hour T2 stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
you did a 5.5 hours stream.
The cop gets
that was down to Enzo.
Sorry.
Blame it.
We'll live, but in the wheelchair.
blame it on the Stupendolicious.
It was. It was like I was saying, like, oh yeah, don't worry, he'll live. Yeah, it's like, and have to shit in a colostomy bag for the rest of his life in a wheelchair. I think that's what it was.
So, what made you pick Live and Let Die?
I don't know why. I don't know. I think you mentioned it once, and because you had like some kind of a script thing about it, didn't you? And I thought, okay, I was looking for another Bond film. I didn't know which one to pick, so I thought, okay, Live and Let Die got mentioned. Well, I'll use that. So,
right.
Yeah. It's actually. I mean, I think it's the second. You'll probably be able to clarify this one, actually, Northern. It was Flemyng's second novel, I think.
It was, yeah. And the film is better than the novel, in my opinion.
Yeah. Although, I mean, obviously there were little bits and pieces taken out of the novel and put into License to Kill, weren't there?
Yeah, with Felix losing his leg to a shark.
Well,
but there's a wealth of information out there on Live and Let Die. It's and that's actually in the package that I'm sending over to you. Actually, Luke, there's a folder that's ready to go over to you. So there's a few bits in there.
an inside man. What are we doing on Saturday, the 18th of May at 3:10?
Saturday, the 18th of May at 3:10.
Well, I can tell you, we're going to see this on the big screen.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
There is no better Roger Moore experience than The Spy Who Loved Me. And this is still the best action scene in any Bond film ever. And I'll fight my corner on that until my dying breath.
I actually think that you know, the Marvin Hamlish Bond 77 track as he's in the ski chase. I think it's an amazing piece of music.
Yeah, the score for this is great.
It really is. I mean, it's very, very different. One of the greatest, definitely one of the greatest title songs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's a fantastic Bond movie. It's the best of the Roger Moore movies, I think.
By a mile. And this set is absolutely amazing. And I will probably do a stream on. I'm going to do some sort of Bond stream, but I don't know that I want to do individual movies. I might do kind of like my top 10 favorite Bond sequences.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's what a
Northern,
fantastic
you'd be welcome.
Yeah, I would definitely be up for that.
Well, I'll do that. I'll do that. So Northern, you can keep the movies on your channel. But yeah, I mean, this set is just amazing. And,
it's superb.
As soon as I got home from the cinema as a 7-year-old kid, I was like straight up to my room and rebuilding this out of Lego. And you know, pretending that my British paratrooper airfix soldiers had red jumpsuits on. But anyway, we probably won't play any more of that. Otherwise, we're going to get flagged up. All right. Well, I think we're just about done for today. We always manage to go off on a tangent before the end, though, so it wouldn't be proper without doing that. Wouldn't be proper without doing that, Scooter Tart, would it? You're absolutely right. Biggest Pinewood set it was to date up until then. Although You Only Live Twice was also built at Pinewood.
Yeah, that was on the back lot.
That was on the back lot.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big set. I mean, that was probably bigger than this actually, because it was huge. You could see it for miles away.
I think it was to date, I think it's still the highest set that was built on the back lot.
Yeah.
But now the Bond stage is actually bigger than it was back in 77. So, or back in 76, 77 when
because the one we've just been looking at was the one that burnt down and they had to rebuild it. It's
actually burnt down twice now. So
this one, not with this set in it, unfortunately, but you know, because of course the set had to go. Anyway, that's it from everybody here. I'd just like to thank my regular guys, Blue Collar Loser, Northern English Bastard, and of course my main co-host Strupenzo, and then also my surprise guest for tonight, the Inside Man, and the Gord. I'm definitely not Michael Sarah King. Always a pleasure to have you both on, and
thank you,
Gord. You're always welcome to drop in. You're always welcome to drop in, buddy, if we're doing this kind of stream. Another date for everyone that I'll give you now, because I know how much you like booking ahead. Is it will be my 2-year anniversary stream on July the 14th.
Nice.
That's a Sunday. I'm going to do a really big mega stream. Part of that stream will be a movie quiz matchup. So there'll be 2 teams of 4 people on each team. And it might be that we have the Christmas team back fighting a new team. But I'm going to see if I can get Drinker on to head up one of the teams, which would be pretty fun. So we'll see if he's available. But yeah, that'll be a ton of fun. There will be lots of surprise guests coming in that day. Jason Flemyng's promised to drop in, among many others. So it should be good. I think that's it. So until then, It's good night from me. And what do we say inside, man?
Bye bye.
That works.